Hello again. So, Blue Hawaii. I remember as a kid, school holidays, sometimes there would be a series of Elvis films in the morning. And I remember us all sat around watching Blue Hawaii and really enjoying it. And the fits of giggles and impersonations when Angela Lansbury comes out with "My baby's home from the big house." And the album is actually good. A lot of very strong songs on it. Of course, in America it was at #1 in the album charts for 20 weeks and has been certified 3 times platinum so far. In the UK it was #1 for 18 weeks. But the success was a double-edged sword, because of course it convinced everyone that the way to go was regular movies with soundtracks. Because of course Blue Hawaii far outsold albums like Elvis is Back, which is strange. Of course it appealed to the non-Elvis fan, appealed to everyone. I remember my grandparents had the Count Out Falling in Love single, which they gave to me. Of course, Rockahula Baby Count Out Falling in Love was #1 in the UK singles chart for 4 weeks. So what about the albums? Well, in this part we're going to look at UK and American releases. Now, I don't claim to have everything, but I think I got a pretty good cross-section. So we start with the original UK mono release in the typical laminated sleeve, which I do like. And the album itself is what we call the big silver spot. And then shortly after came the stereo release, and of course the same large silver spot, but with stereo, living stereo on each side. Then the next series of re-releases came. So we're back to a mono laminated cover. But this time we have a small silver spot. Next came the series that I particularly like. So this is mono again, laminated front cover only. And the red spot. I do like this series, just the red spot, I like it. So next up, so still in mono, laminated front cover again, so pretty much the same as all the other releases. Now we're into the orange label, but in the old cover. Next comes the one that probably a lot of us first got. So we have the newly designed top to the sleeve, a slightly different back cover, and the orange label. So this was the first copy of the album that I bought because it was what was in the shops at the time. So next up we have the same but not laminated cover. Was it worth buying it just because it's not laminated cover? It was cheap, so yes, why not? Now this one, I have absolutely no reason, no memory. Ah, right, I was getting confused. The black label. That's why I bought it. When I was going through them and I saw the front cover, I thought, why on earth did I buy that again? But my wife asks me that every time I buy a record. Then came the RCA Castle Blue Hawaii, which I've shown on another video. And of course comes with a brochure and an EP. And of course the FTD release. Now I wish I could say that I bought this when it came out. I didn't, I bought the CD. So yes, it cost me a lot of money to get hold of. Of course I couldn't not buy it. You have the two inserts. The first album of course reproduces the American Living Stereo album. And the second album has a picture of Elvis on one side and some advertising blurb on the other side. I of course had to pay an horrendous amount of money to get this. Having obtained so many copies of Blue Hawaii, I couldn't go without it really. That's what I tell myself. Now the American releases. So the number on it begins LPM. It's the mono release. So it just says long play and LPM. And we have LSP, Living Stereo, as opposed to Dead Stereo, which probably wouldn't sound very good. So at the bottom it says stereo. Then we have LSP again, Living Stereo. And this time we have Living Stereo at the bottom and silver RCA Victor at the top. My camera decided to turn itself off. So next we have pretty much the same cover again. The orange label. So we have one more to go. Okay, so a few changes in the cover design. And this is the tan label. So there are some that I'm missing. I'm not actively hunting them. I think I've got more than enough copies of Blue Hawaii now. So in the next video we'll be looking at the releases from the rest of the world and a couple of non-RCA modern releases. I hope that wasn't too boring. Thank you for all the messages. My wife starts her chemo on Monday, so fingers crossed. Bye for now.